Alright, good morning, family. Morning time. I know my house is a mess. Morning, Krisha. Yeah, don't make fun of me. I don't sleep on sheets all the time. I'm just using the bed cover. Whatever. Who cares? Okay. Let's go down. Let's take a little ponder at something on my list that I've always, always thought about recently now, ever since seeing Marple Motorized shout out some guy, just make stuff or something like that. James makes stuff. And then, these inner tires, and since I've got that solid cheap Chinese wheelchair tire on my bike, I'm wondering, what if I just took that one and put it inside of one of the skinny ones? Obviously this is a 38, this is a big boy, but got it from an old neighbor. I helped fix up the bicycle and ended up giving him a nice free thin tire and tube. And then I realized, hey, shit, this guy's not gonna pay me back anything, and he was only here for a few days, and I was like, shit, dude, let me just take your tire. And lo and behold, here it is, being used on the motorized bike. I make use of almost everything I have. If I don't need it, I sell it or throw it the fuck away. Excuse my language, So I found like a roll of cash yesterday while riding my bike, and I was nice enough to adjust my girlfriend's food in the plate. And as I pulled over and adjusted her food, as I was getting food, I found a bunch of cash. So, I gave her some money yesterday, and she was reluctant to. She finally gave me this. This was a little syringe used for my daughter for there we go. It had there we go. It had some, what do you call this? Saline solution in it. And it was for an eye flush, and it had like little extra ridges around here where the cap went. But I cut those off, so it's just like a little straight tube here. And I know it looks like really druggy looking, but I put grease in the back on the top over here. Wipe it off, wipe it in, and whatever. Kind of wipe it up with a napkin, and that's all. And this is my little grease gun here, and I just inject grease into fucking shit like I'll show you later on. We'll go talk about greasing parts as well in my video. I probably wasn't ever gonna talk about that today, but we'll go ahead and talk about that. Okay. So that's that. I don't know if it's downstairs, but we're gonna go take a look. Yeah, I'm an alcoholic, whatever. I've got a problem. Yeah. I really gotta clean the house today. Alright, so here's the dealio. By the way, I painted my air filter cap black, just the police are on. Frick, the police around the world are ridiculous, I'd stay away from them as much as possible. I'm thinking about shooting some black on my engine for the fuck of it, But hopefully it's less visible. But anyways, so as far as my brake setup, I noticed my brakes are getting real skimpy, and I'm sure I could twist that back with my fingers and stuff if I really tried, or if I took it off, because there was a video LA Hoover made of, these wires, when they fray like that, most of the time, if they're not like bent hard, you can just twist them back with your finger, and they like go on really freaking nicely, like they never came apart. But from the factory, he was saying they're held on at the tip by a little piece of solder, which I noticed as well. They are. I'm gonna shoot a little spray paint there, I don't care how nice the bike looks, but to protect it from rust and shit, probably sand that a little and shoot it with paint. That's my thought about things. See, look, as long as this is all covered in paint, that's all silver paint or some, chronic shop. I took these handlebars off of some bike that is in downtown. Hawaii has like the worst problem of homeless and methamphetamine ice, so there's always bikes are like water around here, which is why and it's hard because of COVID, which is why my bike is not registered even with the yellow sticker yet, or and that's another thing. Police, they'll see it and like, hey, my son or daughter wants that, and they'll just take it from you. Come on, guys, sometimes the police can be corrupt. We know that. If I was a cop, fuck, don't ride your bike around me. Nah, I'm just kidding. Anyways, so I've got a little Calamansi can. Sorry, that's just a little carb cap, and it actually works, with the hose clamp putting in there. The reason this is not on the bike is the hose clamps start to strip actually, so I have to buy another hose clamp. Like the metal started bending in. I'm sure I could bend it back, but you know, the integrity of the metal is kind of crappy already. It's been bent one way, you know. But if I just left it on from the beginning. But I noticed my old Calamansi can got loud, all the holes ripped out, and they're too wide and drilled ugly and whatnot. So I've got this new drilled out, new drill, and I'll put it on when I get another hose clamp, so I should throw this hose. Oh, I can use it for something else because it screws in further, just, you know, not right there where the threads are all fucked on the band. But yeah, that's what I have. And then the no baffle, you know, as I took my grinder and I cut it right about to there and then to there like a dumbass, you know. It was like, oh, I'll cut it a little bit, pay attention, do it nice and slow, get all heated in the moment, salt that baby down to like fucking there. Go fucking idiot, man. I fucking don't know these days. Fuck. Okay. And then, you know, I noticed my frame was getting scratched up and etched. Of course, like removing of metal on something removes its integrity, you know, its strength though. So I, you know, rolled up a little guava juice Filipino can. These are the thicker cans. These cans are real thick, but my scissors still cut through them. Put a smaller hose clamp on there and hose clamped it. That's actually a bigger one with the whole big part of the band cut off because the small one was just not big enough. So I have that there in case the chains, you know, decides to bounce around and shit. Because I guess LA Hoover was right. Even with the tight chain, this bitch wobbles, like, you know, kind of bounces. It's not as tight as before, but it's got different loose spots. Like other parts of the chain will be tighter. Lame. But, you know, which makes me think, like, God, that belt drive doesn't sound bad at all. You know, and I watch videos about belt drive and stuff, and man, belts are apparently superior to chains, you know. They are what they are, and I would have thought like the little rubber nubs on them would have wore down like shit, like fucking crazy, like brake pads. But I guess, you know, they're a different breed, and they're not really doing any type of braking. They're acting like a gear, so I give them the glory. I probably would love to switch to belt drive if I could, but I did this stupid fucking machinery, stupid shit over here. Oh, and the belt drive would probably scrape everything. Ah, lame. Nah, who knows? Who knows? I don't know. Maybe I'm just saying that, and they have all different ways to. No, the configuration would be way too wide because if the chain's already at there, the motor, I'm not gonna move the positioning. People say slide your motor to the left, tilt it to the right. Like, what the fuck are you trying to do? Just weld the thing upside down on the bike, then you're gonna go ahead and like slide it to the left, to the right. Like, man, I wouldn't fuck with shit like that if you're going, unless you're like taking the thing for a 5-mile-per-hour joyride. Like, yeah, we're not riding dangerously, but we're still not riding at fucking like 5 miles per hour, guys. Like, come on now, like. I mean, not to hate on anybody, but I don't know if I'd really like tilt this baby, you know, any more than straight. You know? My gas tank, I see some guys, the thing going sideways, like, I don't know, you know. Yeah, I'm sure the motor won't catch the gas on fire, but, you know, it's like, come on, like, there's got to be other reasons you just don't want gas shooting all over your shit, you know? Or things like such. But, you know, I have it once in a while. I feel the spray, but, like, and I don't freak out like some people do. But at the same time, though, I'm not as careless as some. I see people with the whole duct tape setup. Like, at that point, I'd figure something out. I wouldn't be taping the fucking tank to the bike. It's nuts. I mean, I get it, rat rods, guys, whatnot. But come on, like, is your life worth something like that? Or maybe it's not life-threatening, but it's kind of yeah, you figure something out. I mean, come on, something, like huge hose clamps. You know, some kind of metal tie. But I don't know about duct tape. That's a little, you know. Anyways, yeah, easy stick column on these things. And so my brakes, since they're all weak and crappy, as I was saying earlier, I've always known about foot jamming. That's when you stick your foot and your leg between the bike. You can do it on the front too, but it's a little stupid that way. You just tip over the front, or, you know, it jams too hard. But you can do it in the rear. Oh, they put their feet right here, and you know, this acts like a stopper. Your seat stays, and then, you know, you just drag your foot along the thing, and don't let your foot like twist into it, you know, just hold it flat, because if you're wearing slippers. So it's possible with even slippers as well, you know. And if you got really thick feet, I guess with your feet, if you've got those Instagram worthy, you know, like those viral video feet with extra scales on them. My second question is, is there a way to clean off the plug and take a snapshot of it and see how, if you're running lean or rich, even if you've already, you know, flooded this bad boy and ran it way too rich just because you wanted to try and get more oil fuel mix, and you're running a little higher mix. Is it, if the plug already got dirty, can you still do the snapshot thing where you rev the thing up for like a minute or 30 seconds or whatever the fuck, and then I forget, I don't know, pull the clutch, hit the kill switch, how they said it, you know, that takes a snapshot of the plug. Can you still do that after the plug's all damaged, you know? Or since it's already kind of black and it's no longer have its perfect silvers, it's kind of junk, and since the anode's already starting to wear down, is it pointless or what? Does it still work? Can I go sandpaper down the spark plug on the inside and try and snapshot it again? Other thing was, since my chain was getting a little closer to the calamansi can, the second thing I was thinking, I seen another guy on YouTube, was put a few washers in between here. You know, we used to do this making fixies back in the day, and to stretch the seat, the seat stay and chain stay, you know, like pull the whole bike apart and then slip the rim in. We used to do that with the bunch of gears on the bike, you know, and then you just align it up to whatever gear, just like LA Hoover making his single speed on the drive side. That's what we would do back in the day, and obviously it let it stretch, but I know obviously you stretch metal, you're ruining the integrity of the metal, you know. And on a motorized bike, I don't know if I really want to do that on a motorized one. Pedal wise, yeah, we would real bend shit and stuff back and forth, but now that I have a motor and a daughter, you know, shit, you know, life has come a little more precious to me, so. And the other thing I was thinking, these tires, they're kind of like real shitty, obviously. Look, you can pull them with your finger, but, you know, they're for straightaway purposes, not turning hardcore or nothing. You'll definitely slide out, eat shit. But, you know, I'm wondering, I'm thinking about switching to the Tannish tires. Those are like $80 to $100, you know. On sale, they're around 80, 60 sometimes. But I was thinking about those, and those Tannish tires, TANNUS, those are the real deal, kind of like these airless tires. Those, I mean, I don't know for sure, I've never had them, but I see all the reviews online, and I'm like, man, those things look like the serious deal, you know. And just to remind everybody of all the grease spots, last point on my video, you know, simple grease spots for the motor is around the gear, you know, just around the treads. I overdo it way too much. You unscrew this nut in here, you pull this out, grease gun in there, shove all your grease in there. That's the crankshaft assembly, and then don't forget to grease the other beginning part of the crankshaft assembly, that inside grease gun in the hole of the bucking bar where the ball is at the end, and, you know, put some inside the cap over here, or you can drill a little hole and grease gun in there and then put a little screw, seal it off. But I don't want to fuck with that, you know. One by I start fucking the thing up, I drill the hole too wide, can't find a screw or lose the screw, and that's the only one in the department store. You know, my luck. So those are just the simple engine greasing points. Oh, I put some kind of lubricant on my chain the other day and it started to squeak, so the little grease on there last night, you know. Stayed up late drinking, so fuck, man, that's about it. Excuse my language, but yeah, shoot, forgot to bring down the paint can, shoot some paint right there. Yeah, not much. I was thinking about cutting the cord a little short and screwing it back in, but yeah, and the two-piece chain rings holding up all right, not too bad. It's in there. I guess one side obviously has a little more gap than the other, but whatever, I think it's wearing in, or it'll break on me and then I'll never do it again. I'll just go back to my crappy 36. Alright, boys and ladies, gentlemen, thank you guys for watching. See you guys later.